soon as I do. There we go. We're
Pow!
live. You got the beard going.
Yeah, getting some scruff on.
How
Nice
are
and
things
gray
in
too.
Texas?
It's good, man. Summer's in full motion here now. Kids out of school. I know we had some uh, some missed Fridays with all of the end of year celebrations, so it's good to get back in the swing of things.
Yeah, I may end up having to. I got to look at my schedule for next Friday because I think my daughter gets out at that time,
Right.
and then I'm going out of country. The fall. I might be. We're gonna have to figure it out. We're gonna have to figure out Friday. So maybe we'll do it anyways. The nice thing about today's technology is that, quite honestly, there was times where I in our past that I've done it in the airport.
Right.
So we don't need to be set. I don't
Making it
need to
happen.
be. I don't need a screen here and here and here, and like there's a lot of
Yeah.
things that we can do. So, dude, a lot of stuff we got to catch up on. Technology just continues to excel. They just dropped Claude 6.8, right? 6.8. Two. What version
Mm,
is that? What version is it? It's
they
Claude.
push out a new one. I did see something where they like put the models up against the some of the other models, um, and they were comparing it to GPT five
Five,
point
yeah.
five, and like there were I love the shift of folks. Like there was a big migration over to Claude, and then a lot of the more like technical people went back to
4.8.
OpenAI 4.8.
Yeah, it's Opus 4.8. Got to tell you, man, uh, for real estate agents and loan officers, this is going to sound really cliche because you hear it a lot. AI is not going to take you out of business. It's the people who actually use AIs can take you out of the business. Okay, that's the only time I'm going to say that right here and right now. Here's what I know to be true. I used Claude Code and I developed an app for my son's flag football team to whereas I can track metrics and I can do video and I developed all of this code. All I have to do
Yeah,
is understand the workflow, the system of it.
right.
Technology is no longer a barrier. If you understand systems and you've known me a lot of years, I always come up with ideas and say, oh, we could do this, 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 and this.
Right.
There's always technology that's the barrier in between that.
Yeah.
That's soft. I'm building out my rucking app. I abandoned working on Glide app, and then I was going to go into
Okay.
Flutterflow. Those what we knew then to be somewhat vibe coding, but you still had to know some code. You still had to know some processes, and you would actually end up being the bottleneck because you would go to AI, type in your problem, and then it
Right.
would punch it out, and then you'd have to go and do it. So there was that. So I decided that I was going to take where I was at and download the the glide tables, which is basically I used for Supabase. So
Yeah.
I was already 80% there. So I was 80% finished. I just had 20% more that I had to do. Well, that 20% more that I had to do is longer than if I just started over with Claude Code and and just develop it
Yeah.
outright. And it's just bonkers that
Yeah.
you can say, okay, this is what I'm now. You need to understand logic. You need to, and anyone who's never worked any type of workflow, I think that's a big challenge for people. I remember I don't
Yeah.
think it's hard for you. It's not hard for me, but to be able to, okay, this is where I'm starting at. And
Yep.
then I need to get here. And then you have just a bunch of yes and no logic that just goes, or if then
Right.
yes, no logic that goes in between that. If you're good at doing that, man, you can develop an app really easy.
Yeah. The uh, for for a good chunk of time there, I was like hammering like, hey, you really need to be putting in time to like learn this, learn that. And I started to walk that back, quite a bit. I was like, because I saw where things were going with a lot of AI, and I was, came to the realization that, it is to a point right now where people don't need to necessarily like learn how to do everything, but just be able to communicate what they want, and it, so it's really, I really feel like it's going to continue to allow people to be able to accomplish, what they want, um, just in plain language, right? So we'll do a lot of times like with folks where, you know just a short little exercise, like not coming up with the perfect prompt, not, doing, X, Y, and Z, knowing how to do. I was like just talking like plain English on like on a a Google Doc, like what you're wanting to do, and then give plug that in, and it'll figure out the rest of everything else. For the most part. So
Well, and now they have Claude Design, which will actually create the HTML. I mean, Claude itself would
yeah,
do that anyways, but this is just more schematic, I guess. But
yeah,
it'll do that for you. They have Claude Cowork that has all of these. It's for the layman that you can just connect your Gmail, you can connect your calendar. There's a lot of different
right,
things you can do. Now I'm still using OpenClaw, Alfred, which is using Claude as the brain. So here's the way I'm using that is Claude Code is not 100% automatic. You still have to go into Supabase. You still have to. There's still a lot of things that
yeah,
you have to do. It'll walk you through it. But the cool thing is when I'm working on Claude Code and I'm working on like the app, it'll come up and say, "Hey, I'm waiting for you to do this." I copy that. I put it over into Alfred. I'm like, "Hey, can you do this for me?" And it's like, "Yeah, sure." I only have to do like 5% of the whole. I have
yeah.
to. So I don't know if I told you. Did I tell you that we got a new car?
I don't think so.
Okay, I gave up. I have my 2010 Benz that I had in Utah. That was just the airport. It was just my shuttle back and forth the airport. And now I have to go into the office every single day for my corporate job. So I'm like, well, that's not necessarily, there's vanity there. And gas prices here is like $7 a gallon. It's ridiculous.
It's
So my,
insane.
my small little C300 Mercedes cost like $110 to fill up. And so we went and got us the new Tesla Model 3. So now we have two Teslas. My whole
Okay.
theory about making sure we always have a gas car is just out the window because now we have two electric cars.
Hmm.
Um, but it's wild. It has the full self driving. I didn't drive myself to work today. I'm in the office. I had the address in there and I typed go to work and it just drove me to work. Very fluid, and I've
Yeah.
got to see the whole genesis of it because we have a 2018 X and we got to see the the genesis of the full self driving and to where it began to where it is now. And uh, I got off on a tangent. I'm not entirely sure. I'll come back around when I figure out what my point was. But my new point is that the way things are right now technologically, why? Oh, this is where it was with Claude Code. Is
Yeah.
I'm doing the same thing driving. All I am is I'm just monitoring. I'm making sure that
Yeah.
I'm there if the car needs me to take over with Claude Code. Like I went out for my ruck this morning, hour and 15 minutes. I put it on a project. I'm like, I'm not going to be about for an hour, for about an hour. Do everything you can, and then just give me a list of what I need to do when I get back. And there's like three things that I had to do, and so I took those three things and I gave them off to Alfred. He did two of them, so I have to do one.
There you go.
And one of them is that Alfred can't do. I have to go get an API key. I have to go. I
Yeah.
have to go create an API key. So there
Fair
is a
enough.
barrier right there. Is that if you're an agent, if you're a mortgage broker, and you don't understand how API keys work, you don't understand like that whole logic. You're probably using. You're probably not ready for Claude Code just yet.
Yeah.
You
There.
know.
I mean, there's uh, there's a evolution into the whole process. It's funny to watch happen a lot of times too, like because I mean a lot of my business is focused around attracting people that are interested in using AI and all of that. And I'll see folks like start off like with like almost no experience, and then they start getting some
Messing with
stuff.
it. They
And then
start playing with
yeah,
it.
and then I'm like, oh, here he goes, he's getting the bug. Next thing I know, like they're like, you know, doing their own apps and tools and stuff, and because if we working with the mortgage folks, they're one of our big like core offers is like connecting them with more referral partners, and how we
That's
bring
right.
more value to them, right? And then you just see the wheels start spinning. Next thing they know, they're spinning off little apps and stuff like that. I'm torn on this because I want to like encourage it, but also like, hey, you still need to do your day-to-day business.
Still need to do
Like
your job.
I yelled at somebody yesterday, and because they were kind of excited about, they were pumped on like this tool that they whipped up, and I was like, that's freaking awesome. I was like, but here's the thing: you have 44 referral partners in your pipeline right now you have not responded to, that have texted you in the last 24 hours, and you haven't responded to any of
Oh my
them.
God.
Like, I know this is exciting, but like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Quality problems of abundance.
Yeah.
I was like, we need to get you some help, man. You need a human in the loop here. AI is great, man. It does, it can do a lot of stuff, but it's not going to build relationships with people.
One of
So.
the things that I'm working on, kind of transition, sticking on to the whole referral point, I'm building out the new business planning workshop.
Mhm.
And again, technology is no longer a barrier. And the things that I can do now is 100 times faster. I'm not saying 10 times faster, I'm saying 100 times faster. What I
Yeah.
did this morning, no, it's not this morning, it started on the plane yesterday. So I'm into this probably a solid, if you put all of the time together, I'm into this like 8-10 hours of just full on. I'm not typing, right? I use kind of a whisper flow now. If I'm at the computer, I'm just talking to it now, and I'm doing those commands. So I've been able to make myself efficient. I type pretty fast, but not as fast as I can talk.
No.
But I'm building out this business planning workshop, and I think that it's very incomplete. And when you're doing something from a learning standpoint, you need a workbook, you need slide decks. It takes a lot of time. The things that I've done in the last 10 hours would normally take me probably at least 4 weeks,
Yeah.
probably, because you have to design it, you have to write it, you have to format it, there's all these things. So anyway, so I created this whole plan workshop that talks about what is your dream, dream planning. Well, once you have the dream, you can start doing the goal planning, because you have to know what your dream is and actually get the goals. And then in order to get the goals, you have to have a business plan.
Yeah.
So I put this whole structure together just by talking with Quad Pro, and then Quad Pro is actually building out the books for me as we go in my own voice. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to take that and I'm going to develop it into an app into Quad Code. So now you get the information, you plug it into there, you push some buttons, and what would normally take probably a few days of regular business planning, you can condense that down for people. And so I can see what your guys are doing, but I'm doing it because I'm in that profession. But
Yeah.
and that's what's going to, I have to redesign curriculum to align with the modern agent when it comes to lead gen. Well, before lead gen, you have to have awareness and authority. So we have to build out that system first, and then you got to go lead gen, nurturing, and such. So it's just exciting times, man. Even though I don't think that you and I are at the tip of the spear, I think there are probably people ahead of us.
Oh yeah.
We're in our industry. I think that we're at the top of the tip, though. I genuinely do that. Now,
Well,
the benefit that we have, and when you look at our clients, the average, let's just say the average agent. I know this data on average agents. The average agent is 60, like 4 years old. It used to be 58, like a year or two ago. So the age went up, but you went from 6 million sales down to 4 million sales. And guess who got out of the business? The people that are younger, that are newer to the business. So that pushed that age up over that when you
mhm,
start, condensing down that
right.
pool. But that age group is also the seller and the buyer and the person getting the mortgage. Because if the buyer is going to be like 55 years old, late 50s, then the person getting the mortgage is going to be late 50s. It's the same person. So that's our demographic. They're not the ones who are really focusing and diving into a lot of these various different tools. So um, I think there's a great opportunity for those for what you do and for who you teach. Now, I'm talking a lot. One of the things that came up through my data, which I think will help you, because I think it's the same type of people. When you look at the agent's business, 20% comes from referral, 21% like referral from a past client,
Yeah.
21% comes from a referral from a friend or family member. So 41%. So most people aren't doing anything to grow those. Now, I mean, you can't grow your family. You can grow your friends. You can grow you can grow your sphere of influence. So it's interesting that you're teaching people to build that referral business so that that natural business just comes. And you're having
Yeah.
them throw out some bait that everybody wants to know. That's genius.
Yeah.
That's why you
It's
have those awards on the floor.
I have about three more of those I've never even got made the effort to go pick up, which I should probably do at some point in time.
You got 5 of
Um,
those?
yeah,
Attaboy.
right. Yeah,
Next thing you know, you're going to be doing those that guy's commercials like, we guarantee you $1 million in blah blah, or you don't pay a dime.
as much as I would love to make guarantees, it's just
Been there, done that.
can't control what people do. I mean, income guarantees. I can guarantee like specific results on stuff, but like you still got to close the deals. You still got to answer your phone.
Do you remember when we were on the sales floor? Um, People were like, "Well, what kind of guarantee?" And when we were doing the default mitigation, what kind
Yeah.
of guarantee can you give me? And God, what did I come up with?
You had a brutal one. Like it was savage, I remember. It's like I can guarantee if you do nothing, you're gonna be homeless.
I did do that. I did do that. Yes, that was the one. But then I also said that this is like hiring an attorney. Now, if you get a traffic ticket, no big deal. But if you're accused of a crime, like a serious crime, and whether you're innocent or guilty is irrelevant, if you're accused of it to where your freedom goes away, chances are you're not going to treat this like a traffic ticket. Chances are you want to hire somebody that has the experience that's going to give you the best chance, knowing that you're still at risk, that you're going to win. It was something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a
I
closer.
summarized
That
the
was,
savage part.
yeah,
It
you
worked,
summarized the
man.
savage part. That's
I
coming.
think
That you're starting to see those tick up. The foreclosure numbers tick up.
I think that was my rebuttal, and you had a more detailed one. I think mine was the more savage one. I can guarantee if you don't do nothing, you're gonna be homeless.
Oh,
Oh man.
have you been getting anything with Spencer Pratt into your feed?
Oh yeah, for sure. That's
And you're in
like
Texas, dude. I'm in
80
Orange County,
80
and
80% of my
dude, I think he's going to win the election.
man, if they don't fucking cheat out the system, yeah, I don't know. I don't it's completely beyond me way like anybody would, you know, like, hey, I have somebody that's completely destroyed this city over the course of the last 5 years or however
Why would you
long.
want to
Like,
choose them?
that's been working really well. I want to continue to do more of that.
You know, he's a really good example of awareness, frequency, and authority,
Yeah,
and hitting a pain point, like
yeah,
like a really big pain point. My wife used to watch him on TikTok because he was all about the hummingbirds and just always going on. Dude's
yeah,
just hilarious.
yeah.
Like I actually got captivated by it and watching the way that he handled that debate. And now he just ripped them all apart just because he's telling the truth.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's just it. Just punches straight through.
Dude,
Um,
hilarious.
solid messaging. He stays on topic too. Like there's no, he's like, nah, no, let's bring this back. Great question, but like there's poop on the streets and these naked naked drug zombies in front of your kids. Like that's
Yeah.
let's stay focused here.
Yeah. We have the money. He's like,
Yeah,
money's not the issue. We have the money. These people are drug addicts. Like,
we have the money. They're stealing it.
yeah. That's funny that
Yeah.
you got, I can see why I'm getting it in my feed because I'm just right there. But the fact that you're in Texas, you're so far removed from California anymore that I'm surprised that that's actually showing up in your feed.
Oh, I mean, it's. I think he's got national algorithm. Um,
Oh, he has
you
national
know,
support.
yeah. The yeah, it should be interesting. I uh took a
He's a polar
took out a
opposite of Mandami.
right. Yeah, he's same category of
Yeah.
like no zero political experience, but complete opposite end of the spectrum. Um, I took a poly market on Spencer. I was like, his numbers are way too low for like what the probability feels like. So I think after even if he even if he just makes it into the runoff like after June or whatever, I think that like the poly market odds will
What's the
just
poly market
crush.
odds on him right now?
Dude, it's gone up quite a bit. So I'm pretty uh, reasonably profitable on where I got in. I think I think he's 22% or something.
Oh, let me look. Oh, that's not poly market. Let's see what poly market says. View live prediction odds. Here, we'll
Great
throw this on the
tangents we're
screen.
going on today.
Oh, that's typical.
That's how we roll.
Um, yeah, that's tennis. That's not Spencer Pratt politics. Where do I go? Oh, LA Mayor right there.
Yeah.
Karen Bass 59-20. Karen 70-16. Well, first round 26-21. Um,
They got Karen
w-
Bass at 59%. So in him
well, dude, this
and
I don't get on poly market all that much. Why is there six of them? What are you seeing here? What are you reading into this that I'm not?
I'm not I just go on the mobile app, so I think is yeah, that's the one I'll look at. Um
I don't think this is
so
accurate
they have right? So with the like
because you have this
have,
one like right. Oh, this is who will advance to the second round.
I mean, you
Bass
could bet
Pratt.
on pretty much anything. So right, they're um, so you could like bet to win, bet to
Well, this
stages.
has 4 million in volume right here. So is this saying that most people are betting that Karen Bass is going to win?
As of right now, 59% are putting their money on Karen Bass to win. So my expectations is that like like it'll go to a runoff between Pratt and Bass, and then that 20% obviously is gonna, you know, from from this bump up pretty, pretty significantly. Do you ever do any polling market stuff?
No, never have. So is this
It's
saying
kind of
I have
fun.
to? I bet 59 cents. Is this how this works?
Uh,
Like what? Oh, I can put the amount in here.
yeah, so it's like you bet 5 to win. Um, so the cool thing is with this, it's like a stock where you don't have to wait for the actual results. Like you can sell out at any time.
Oh,
So like in so you, like let's say for example, it's like you find whatever stuff that you might have like a little bit more intimate knowledge about. Maybe it's real estate, maybe it's something like
let me see what's
is
trending.
is is blankety blank going to happen by this date, and like you have industry knowledge on that thing more so than the general public that's betting on that. um Ken Paxton's at 62% over.
Oh my gosh, what floor? I don't even know what this means. Like any of this stuff.
It's absolutely ridiculous the amount of stuff that you can um bet on. They got a really good platform where it's like uh it's peer to peer, right? So their business model is good where they're not
So
setting
it's
the
not
market,
betting.
setting the odds, and charging a vig on things like the like it's next to nothing to like place bets. Um and could be anything. Like, it's going to rain tomorrow.
Wow. Polymarket says that Trump will agree to Iranian oil sanctions relief by June 30th. That's like tomorrow.
Or 1 month from tomorrow.
Oh yeah, because it's May 30th. Duh. Thanks. Thanks.
You're all good. Just
Dude,
ratting
that's
you.
wild. Yeah, we totally got off topic on that one.
Good tangent. Solid tangent. I love
Well,
that.
look, so I did a
That's
50
why we jam.
from door to door from the time that I left to the time I got back. I left my house at 8:30 on Tuesday in the morning, went to John Wayne Airport, flew to Toronto, Canada. Got there like I didn't hit the my head didn't hit the pillow until like midnight. Got up, went and did an all day training at a real estate event. Stayed there the whole time. Ended up doing a top agent mastermind dinner that night. Didn't get home until I don't know 10. Uh, Flight wasn't supposed to leave until about 1 p.m. the next day, but I woke up early and I looked to see what earlier flights I had so I could get out at 10. So I was able to get on an earlier flight, flew back in a 56-hour period of time. That's what my week was.
Oof.
You may have
Jeez.
saw that on Facebook.
I caught a post. I didn't I didn't see where you were, but it looked like a pretty good size event for sure.
It was a good size event. Probably about 100 agents. They have 300, 350, something like that. So to get a third of their office in person, live in person, good turnout.
Those are solid numbers.
Yeah, yeah. And one thing to your point is that you highlighted this to me is I'm accustomed to get some really large audiences, and I remember you saying that there was only like 25 people. You're like, think about that. 25 people,
Right. Number of
showing up.
views on like a
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Dude, my Semper Ruck videos it's organically just kind of going. I'm just doing YouTube shorts
Yeah.
and just 90 seconds, just updates. I had to get all my rucking in the Toronto airport yesterday because I woke up early and I'm like, international flight. I've got to get to the airport. So I skipped my workout. So I just had to ruck the the international terminal,
Yeah.
and I got my 10,000 steps in. But
I remember, was it last summer you were on a flight to visit the family, and like, you were doing your steps on the plane.
I
You're
had
like,
I had to.
I didn't have. I was just pacing the aisle. I was like, that's commitment, bro.
I had to. Yeah, but that wasn't
I,
getting the steps in. That
I'm
was
I'm on day 487. Like,
dude,
I'm
I'm on
not giving
number
up.
I looked at it this morning, and I'm on day number 687 is today. 10,000 steps, closed all the rings every single day consistently for 687 days.
That is freaking impressive. What's your
And if I ever
average
miss
daily
one,
steps now?
I've got to start over. So the longer I do it, the more motivation I get.
Yeah. So 10,000's your floor. What would you say your daily average is at?
It's about 16,000.
16.
Yeah,
That's impressive.
it's going to be more now that I actually have to come into the office daily. That's a mandate thing. So it was less. Dude, this is wild. Ecamm, the lights turned off. I don't know if you noticed that.
Mhm.
And a ring light came up around my screen. My screen dimmed and a ring light came up around it. Dude, that's wild.
That's cool.
I'm going to text that to
Au-
you.
Auto adjust
It auto adjusted.
instantly to
Here,
you have
check
like
that out.
the
I just text you.
incandescent lights that like are on like a timer.
Yeah. Isn't that
Bro,
wild?
that's a clean look.
It's wild.
Interesting. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I
That's
like
got
that,
to be
man.
an Ecamm update. So, but no, I get about 15. Let's just say 15,000 steps a day. I've gotten to the point. In fact, I posted on at Simple Ruck this morning. Is I've got to do it in the morning. Like choose your hard, choose your difficult,
Yeah.
choose your life's hard, choose your hard, and you know this. You've heard me say this. It gets if I don't do my steps in the morning, it gets infinitely harder the later on the day it goes. And
Right.
I dislike it. I dislike it the least amount in the morning that early. I dislike it the most when I don't do it early and I have to fit it in like at 8 p.m. Like it's
Yeah.
horrible. So
Now it's an obligation rather than
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So now that was my 90-second reel this morning of choose your hard because
Choose your hard.
when I talk to people that I wake up at four between 4 and 4:30, and I'm out the door by. I like to get out the door by 5 a.m. People will often say, "Oh, I can't do that." It's like, no, I mean, you could do that. You choose
You
not
could.
to. You choose. It's a choice. How much sleep do you get? I get 6 hours. Oh, I need 8 hours. No, no, you don't need 8 hours. The government says you need 8 hours, but they also said that food pyramid, since that was like a healthy pyramid too. So, I mean,
Right.
who are you going to trust? My data from my Apple Watch from Apple Health shows that I need 6 hours of sleep. That's it. That's my average straight across for as long as I've had Apple Health. It goes back.
Yeah.
I get 6 hours of sleep.
Yeah,
So
I'm right there. I'm right there with you. 6 hours is a solid night's sleep for me. I'll
yeah. So
operate
you
a lot of
figure
times like
if I
four
go
to
to bed at
five.
like 9:30, say 10, 6 hours from 10 is 4 in the morning. Like I'm not losing sleep.
Yeah.
What I'm doing is I'm taking that extra 2 hours, just like you. I take that extra 2 hours and I choose to put that into activities that's going to move the needle. And it just so happens, Claude, let's take this conversation full circle. It just so happens that Claude Code and Claude Pro and Claude Cowork, and I don't use Gemini or Grok. I don't use Chat GPT hardly ever anymore. I use Nano Banana Gemini for image. I use
Yeah.
Grok for finding out what the real time sentiment is on something, but typically it's not work. Typically that's just like I use Grok as my professional. If I have a question that's going on that's like medical or legal, or I'll go to Grok on that. But if
I love
I
that.
want research, market research, I'll go to Gemini first. I'll go to Perplexity if I want really detailed analysis. But for the most part, I'm 80% Claude. What about you?
Yep, Claude
About the
for
same?
sure. I mean, I still have ChatGPT, and I'll use it occasionally to to whip some up or just whip some stuff up. What was it, about 2 months ago that I tried to convert you to Claude? Wasn't that long ago.
No, time has flown by. It's been longer than that.
It has.
It's been longer than that.
I was like,
Dude, it seems
just
like yesterday that we just had that conversation about getting on Chat GPT. Like that
right.
was like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And
November
it's just
30th,
wild how it
2023.
is. Dude, your kids and my kids who have never known a life outside of the internet, their kids are never going to know a life that didn't have robots and self-driving cars
Right.
and a base on the moon, probably.
Maybe even
Wild,
Mars.
wild.
Wild.
Dude, I just made a joke and it was kind of funny, but it's not funny because it's rooted in reality. Um, I was talking to uh, when I talk live, dude, shit just comes out of my mouth. And I use in my neighborhood as an example how it's the former Marine Corps El Toro Air Base. And I'm like,
Yeah.
who here's seen Independence Day? And everyone like raises their hand. I'm like, that's where they rallied the F-18s to go and fight the aliens. I said, that's where I live. And I said, science fiction might end up being science fact, but judging from all this, because I'm still looking here about, and Polymarket has you can bet on when Trump's going to release more UFO files. So I just saw that. So that's why. Look, we're over time. We're just going to go through. We're
Right.
just going to rapidly degrade from here. It's like back when we first started. So, but that was a good episode, though. This is a good
Yeah.
conversation.
Very enjoyable.
All right, my brother. We'll see you next
All right,
week.
brother. Let's
Bye.
get it.